I started printing my images that were not necessarily typical of your silk scarf subject matter. It was way far from the Hermès scarf. It was kind of the opposite in many ways. They were about different subject matter. They were not square, they were long. Usually they were oblongs, which corresponded to the way my artwork tended to be vertical. And so one thing led to another, and people started liking them and buying them. And suddenly I realized that if I created a limited edition, a version of some of my designs, I could share them with people much more easily and affordably. So I created what became wearable art. It's a way of expressing how you feel at a given time and place and what's on your mind at that point. You know, it sort of helps me function in the world in a certain way. And I love the variety, the ability to change depending on my mood, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing. You know, I love scarves. I think what happened at some point in my life is that I was looking for a more abstract connection between details that I observe in space, and could have to do with being older too, that it affects the way you look at the world. The STEAM series came out of the most serendipitous of circumstances. I started really focusing on this condensation on the mirror after taking a steamy shower and coming out of it, and then slowly watching that condensation drip down the mirror. It's mostly about playing with color and texture and creating a composition that has a coherence and that tells a story. You could show it in all its beauty by letting it as loose as possible, but you can also play with the colors, and that's why my compositions often have a certain tonality or a certain type of color on one end and a completely different one on the other, so you can actually mix and match and reveal what you choose to reveal. I was completely seduced by the tactile feel. It is so soft. It's like wearing a cloud. It wears its colors so beautifully because they are, first of all, true to the original colors that I had in mind, which is very difficult at times to find. But more importantly, it's printed in both sides. So it's back to back, which is a unique technology, very recent, that allows total penetration. So there is no saturated or less saturated side. It's all beautiful. It's a way of sharing, a more an unusual way of sharing, because I believe most scarves are just made to sell and forget about them, you know, decorative. This is a little different. This is getting the wearer involved. I'm actually sharing a bit of the process with which I create.